Welcome to the transition from just-in-time (JIT) to optimal inventory presentation. The just-in-time inventory approach was a temporary fix that satisfied the needs of GLWA end users in the short term. The optimal inventory approach is the long-term solution to providing inventory needs and is in alignment with the Strategic Asset Management Plan. The mission of the Logistics and Materials team is to provide the right material, at the right place, at the right time, using supply chain solutions that cultivate dynamic growth in GLWA through operational efficiency, with our internal and external customers. The Logistics and Materials team has stock rooms at the Water Resource Recovery Warehouse and the Northeast Storeroom Warehouse. The administration and analytics team members are located in the old Ragland building at the Water Resource Recovery Facility. GLWA began in March 2019, phasing out the just-in-time process. The target date for its completion was January 1, 2020. Our just-in-time contracts with Mac and Mac, Grainger and VMR were not renewed in 2020. However, they are still ongoing vendors. This has been discussed at our weekly operational meetings since March 2019. The optimal inventory approach has been fully implemented at GLWA since January 1, 2020. By studying our materials usage, this allowed us to make this shift, which proved to be cost-effective. In addition to adding inventory, a number of other options exist. The advantages of the optimal inventory approach outweighs the just-in-time approach. The optimal inventory approach is more aligned with GLWA's Strategic Asset Management Plan for the future. Some of the advantages of optimal inventory are: it allows you to align with asset management planning. Efficiency is maximized. It allows you to store what you need on site. And in the end, it is more cost-effective. It allows you to store what you need for the job. There is a high level of consistency. Everyone is using same thing. You create efficiency through standards. Optimal inventory works well with P-card, which is a quick, low-dollar spot buy, and procurement, which is a larger dollar, with competitive pricing. The advantages of the optimal inventory approach outweighs the just-in-time approach. The optimal inventory approach is aligned with GLWA's Strategic Asset Management Plan for the future. Another advantage of optimal inventory is that it's supported by the Logistics and Materials Continuous Process Improvement environment and is based on weekly internal customer meetings. This approach will allow us to quickly identify their needs and priorities. If there is a need to acquire materials at GLWA, it can be accomplished by one of two ways. 1. Enter a requisition in WAM using the Logistics and Materials Approval path. This process will allow you to monitor and track material purchases. 2. By adding material to stock. You need to submit a completed Add to Stock form. Logistics and Materials will add the material at requested levels to the warehouse for operational use. In case you are wondering how to acquire materials through GLWA, there are a couple ways that it can be accomplished. 1. There are approximately 17 vendors to choose from in our procurement pool that can provide materials to you. 2. If the item you need is not in inventory, a P-card may also be used. If you need further assistance, please contact Terrence Anderson, Logistics and Materials Manager. His contact information is on the last slide. Feel free to notify Logistics and Materials regarding the urgency of an inventory request. The inventory request can be classified as low, medium, or high. Low. Planned inventory, the time frame is 2 weeks to 12 months. The criteria for a low planned inventory request is as follows. Logistics and materials would be happy to meet with you to assist in planning storage and delivery options. The inventory item can be added to the warehouse. You will need to first fill out the Add to Stock form. Logistics and materials will monitor and adjust inventory levels on a continual basis. Medium. Urgent inventory, the time frame is 0 to 5 days. The criteria for a medium planned inventory request is as follows. Logistics and materials will see if an item is in the warehouse or on order, and the logistics and materials manager can help you determine if a P card can be used. The procurement group can help you in getting a purchase order. High. Emergency inventory, which is 1 to 24 hours. The criteria for a high emergency inventory request is as follows. Contact procurement group for emergency purchase. The slide gives a summary of the non-inventory requisition process from beginning to end. The estimate is approximately 12 business days for a typical request. Materials are added in the warehouse by submitting an Add to Stock form. You also will be required to submit a quote from a vendor in order to add an item to stock. The logistics and materials team is available to answer any questions and will be available to visit locations to assist in the completion of the form. How to access the form will be shown in the following slides. The Add to Stock form can be accessed on One Water Connect. When you are on One Water Connect, click on Forms, Policies and Procedures in the navigation area. The Add to Stock form can be found under the Form category in the Logistics and Materials group. The form is listed under the Forms and Documents Teams subcategory. Click on the Stock Add Change form to open the document. The completed form should be forwarded to Lloyd Bowman or Terrence Anderson. A link to the form can be found in the comment area below the video. When you utilize the optimal inventory approach, it will help you with the following. 1. Assist in the planning of inventory needs by meeting with operations leadership on a constant basis. 2. Identify items on requisitions that could be added to stock. Assist operations to identify slow-moving or non-moving stock items. 3. Eliminate surplus inventory throughout the organization. This proactive approach addresses predicting inventory needs and eliminating obsolete assets early in their life cycle. What is considered an emergency procurement? We would like to point out 2 important factors about an emergency procurement. 1. If there is an imminent threat of public health and welfare. Or, 2. To prevent an imminent violation of a required environmental permit or administrative consent order under emergency conditions. Materials are added in the warehouse by submitting an Add to Stock form. You will also be required to submit a quote from a vendor in order to add an item to stock. The Logistics and Materials team is available to answer any questions and will be available to visit locations to assist in the completion of the form. The form can be found at One Water Connect. Link to the form can be found in the comment area below the video. An emergency procurement is requested by completing an emergency request form. This form can be found on the Procurement SharePoint site. The link to the form can be found in the comment area below the video. The form should be completed if there is an imminent threat of public health or welfare that prevents a violation of an environmental permit or administrative consent order under emergency conditions. Once the form is completed, email and contact the procurement manager, Daniel Edwards, or the procurement director, Sonia Collins. The contact information is provided in the comment area below the video. A knowledge check is a way of testing you on what you learned in this presentation. The next few slides will ask you questions related to the material that was just presented to you. Ready? Let's start. Let's see what you remember about just-in-time. On this slide is a true-false question. The mission statement: to provide the right material, at the right place, at the right time, using supply chain solutions that cultivate dynamic growth in GLWA, through operational efficiency with internal and external customers. Is this true or false? How would you answer this question? The answer is on the next slide. The answer is true. Did you get it right? If not, you may need to watch this presentation again. On this slide is a multiple-choice question. On March 19, the just-in-time began a phase-out with the final date of January 1, 2020, February 1, 2020, March 1, 2020, or April 1, 2020. How would you answer this question? The answer is on the next slide. The answer is number 1, January 1, 2020. Did you get it right? If not, you may need to watch this presentation again. Last question. On this slide is a true-false question. An emergency procurement exists when there is an imminent threat of public health and welfare. Is this true or false? How would you answer this question? The answer is on the next slide. The answer is true. Did you get it right? If not, you may need to watch this presentation again. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact Terrence Anderson. He is the Logistics and Materials Manager. Terrence's phone number is 313-378-8203 and his email address is terrence.anderson@glwater.org. Lloyd Bowman. He is the Logistics and Materials Management Professional. Lloyd's phone number is 313-410-3702 and his email address is lloyd.bowman@glwater.org. Or Shavarn Smith. She is the Logistics and Materials Professional Administrative Analyst. Shavarn's phone number is 313-297-8841 and her email address is shavarn.smith@glwater.org. Thank you for participating in this presentation.